so he's got a quick temper, and he really should shut up, to tell you the truth. But unfortunately, he has not. All right. Let's have the vote.
Commissioner Gantz?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Rosenzweig?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Preston?
Yes.
Mayor Ralph?
I'm going to vote yes.
You know, one of the reasons I had some reservations about nominating him for the Marine Advisory Board is an example of an email he wrote to me back in January of 2011. Subject: you have to be kidding. Joe Miller, grow some balls, man. You have to be kidding about your position on the Poitiers issue. Joe, have you ever made a decision in your entire life?
Remember that? You removed me from a ball. Never in the history of the city was a 13-year mayor removed from a board.
We talked and hashed it out, but Mr. Coddington admitted to me that he had not heard what I said, or was not there to see it, or seen it himself. He just took hearsay and ran with it and fired off this long email. And that seems to be the issue with Mr. Coddington. This type of behavior that I don't see how anyone could rely on that type of unprofessionalism.
I think it's political at all. I think, I may be political on one part. I don't think the recipient with this was political. I don't like to hear that type of tone, that type of voice, that characterization by a man that's representing the city of Deerfield Beach.
Ran against me for the seat last time I ran. Ron Coddington is a man who's complaining about somebody wanting to see his emails. Now, my fellow commissioners, I've got a stack of his emails. But I have some things that he just wrote to me a week ago that I would be embarrassed to read in public. But for God's sake, man, please get some balls and make a decision even if it's wrong. You cannot go through your entire term writing on someone else's opinion. That was before I ever nominated him. But you know what? I'm forgiving. I move on. I want the best for the city. Maybe he was emotional at that time. A lot of times people might write an email and maybe they shouldn't send it for 24 hours before they read it again. The city will incur legal fees for my attorney to review this matter and make sure I am complying with legal matter with the devil's request. Here's another personal shot in email form. Hope your legal roles are going well also. It is certainly common knowledge that you are alleged to do city favors for businesses only if they sign a big contract with your firm. If and when you are formally indicted, I will consider replacing you with a competent candidate that actually has the intelligence to understand what he or she is voting on. He did call up and hang the phone up on me without giving me a chance to respond. Ron, I put you on the Marine Advisory Committee because I felt it would be a good fit with your background. I have no ill will for you, and I wish you well. I'd like to make a motion tonight, since I was the one to nominate him to put him on the Marine Advisory Committee, that I can make a motion that he be removed from the Marine Advisory Committee because he's not representing himself in a professional manner. His emails are full of this guy called vulgarities. And I don't think he's making our city proud. I mean,
If he decides to run for commission, as the rumor is, he would have to resign anyhow, wouldn't he? Wouldn't he?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
my motion is that he be removed immediately.
Remember that? You removed me from a ball. Never in the history of the city was a 13-year mayor removed from a board.
On the board. The reason I didn't vote for him is because of precisely this type of behavior. He blasted me because he said I was critical or made some comments about the Marine Advisory Board. We talked and hashed it out, but Mr. Coddington admitted to me that he had not heard what I said or was not there to see it or seen it himself. He just took hearsay and ran with it and fired off this long email. And that seems to be the issue with Mr. Coddington. I have plenty of emails over the years that brought me to my decision not to support to be on that board. To me, this is not somebody that should be serving on an advisory board. This type of behavior does not lend itself to have someone that can really sit up there that I would feel confident in giving advice on. this type of behavior, that I don't see how anyone could rely on that type of unprofessionalism.
But he went beyond the advisory board. He took it upon himself to start to form a committee and come to the city and demand of city clerks to function as his functionary, which he had no authority to do, and was berating the clerks here and asking things of us that he was not entitled to. He exceeded his authority, he exceeded his position as an advisor, and I felt that he was unqualified and should have been removed.
You really need to look at these emails. You
No,
might change your
I'm
opinion.
not going to, for the simple reason that I have a stack this high of emails that I've gotten that are really outrageous, okay? So he's got a quick temper, and he really should shut up, to tell you the truth. But unfortunately, he has not.
Trying to defame my reputation and my son's reputation and my future for my family. And here he is, and we're going to say this man deserves to be in a leadership position. This man is Jekyll and Hyde. One day he's fine on this committee, and the next day he's firing shots from the hip. It's not the kind of man that should be a chairman of an advisory committee, as far as I'm concerned.
The behavior that's here in these emails, the behavior that he conducted with the city manager when he berated him, the emails that he has in here are plentiful, and they're brutal. And
Just my comment on that. This is not one time. This is not two times. This is, what is there, 25 pages worth of these things? This is a pattern.
I don't think this is political at all. I think, I may be political on one part. I don't think the recipient with this was political. And I don't like to hear that type of tone, that type of voice, that characterization by a man that's representing the city of Deerfield Beach.
Let's have the vote.
Commissioner Gantz,
yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Rosenzweig,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Preston,
Yes.
Mayor Ralph.
I'm going to vote yes, simply because I'm going to support Commissioner Miller, but you know.